News out of Iran. The Associated Press is reporting that the country has closed the Strait of Hormuz, the shipping channel that's critical to the oil industry. The move is in response to Israel's overnight attacks in Lebanon, a key ally of Iran's, and it could put the new 2-week ceasefire with the U.S. in danger. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
The Pentagon says the fight against Iran is over for now as negotiations continue with the hope of a long-term peace.
The joint force remains ready, if ordered or called upon, to resume combat operations with the same speed and precision as we've demonstrated over the last 38 days, and we hope that that is not the case.
Pakistan, which helped mediate the ceasefire, has invited Iran and the U.S. to meet in Islamabad on Friday for further discussion.
We will go for negotiations to see how serious the other side is.
Speaking in Hungary Wednesday morning, Vice President J.D. Vance called it a fragile truce.
If the Iranians are willing, in good faith, to work with us, I think we can make an agreement. If they're going to lie, if they're going to cheat, if they're going to try to prevent even the fragile truce that we've set up from taking place, then they're not going to be happy.
President Trump posted this morning on social media that the U.S. would be working with Iran to dig up their enriched uranium stockpile. And in exchange, America is talking with Iran about tariff and sanctions relief. Oil prices dropped nearly $20 a barrel in overnight trading, but are still above pre-war levels. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
So there you have it. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashem, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation, and that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. And there's never a dull moment in this truth, in this walk, okay? Because here it is, as of April the 8th, 2026, it was presumably a deal made for a 2-week ceasefire where Iran would allow ships to go through the Strait of Hormuz, pending on what America said was a 10-point agreement. But now Iran's saying that Israel, the state of Israel, breached that agreement by attacking Lebanon, and now they have closed the Strait of Hormuz once again. Make sense of that. This is stock manipulation. Okay? This is what it is. Okay? Whether it's all solely relying on the shoulders of Trump that's manipulating this stock market, because we see a barrel of oil went from $120 to $90-something just overnight. And now guess what? With this Strait of Hormuz being closed again, it's going to go up even more. It's going to go up even more. All right? Just when you thought you was out of the fire and you was going to get 2 weeks of relief at the gas pumps, what happens? The least of the flock draws them out. These small hatters, these JOOs, they go and do something in totally contradiction of what was just said to have been done, or a lack of that, which they were supposed to cease fire. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out. America, you ain't getting out of this war, man. Because why? This is the will of the Heavenly Father. All right? These small hats, they have already drawn you in there, but they're going to draw you deeper and deeper into it. All right? So this is where we at with it. Now the Strait of Hormuz is closed. They saying in the amount of time that it was open for that brief moment, only about 2 or maybe 3 ships was able to get through. So the gas went down from 120, a barrel of oil went down from 120 to about $93 or $98. You already know what's going to happen after these 2 weeks. It may not even take 2 weeks. Gas prices are going to go right back up even more. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 45. It reads, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon." What? "And his purposes that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans." Both of these are synonymous with America. It says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." See? Just when the president can come and give you Americans some good news, what happens? The least of the flock draws them right back in. You people are going to feel the squeeze shortly. All right? You may have your hopes up. You thought that the president was going, because he had the acronym TACO, Trump always chicken out. But for a brief moment, it seems like he was going to make good on his word in bombing Iran. And they saw the need to come to some type of agreement. And once again, they were bamboozled. They come to the table the first time America attacks them under the auspices of the state of Israel. They come to some kind of ceasefire. What happens? The state of Israel bombs Lebanon. It's clear that they don't want a ceasefire, that they want to take that land and control it as that project. What is it? The project of Project Israel, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can look it up, because this is what they're ultimately trying to accomplish. Project the Israel Project. That's what they're trying to accomplish, okay? So it's clear that they're not willing to give up any of this, what they deem real estate, okay? Their whole goal is they want to take that land. They got Gaza, they want to get, as much as they can, Lebanon, so on and so forth. They want that Project Israel to come to fruition. And they've got America in their back pockets as their muscle. So America, you ain't leaving nowhere. Matter of fact, it's only about to get intensified. They about to go ahead and send troops on the ground over there. All right? So although you going to have a brief moment to reflect on that gas price going down, it's only going to go back up, because why? This is a game. It's manipulation. It's the stock manipulation. All right? These type of moves move the needle on the stock market, whether it's the NASDAQ or the Dow or whatever. All right? Whether it's futures, options, commodities, these things move the needle. All right? And ultimately, it's going to come tumbling down. Okay? It's going to come tumbling down. Because why? The people are going to start to lose confidence in the dollar. And then you can't fake that. When people aren't spending the money because they don't know for certain whether or not they're going to have a job, whether or not they can get to work, whether or not this and that, it's going to have an impact on the dollar. And you got to remember, the dollar is pegged to what? The petrol, the oil, the petrodollar. So they're slowly draining this dollar. They're slowly draining. It seems like they're going for a slow kill. First they go up, then they go down. Then they go up, then they go down. with all these threats, okay? That's about 4 or 5 threats that Trump has made within the course of a couple of weeks since this war started that influenced the stock market. 2-day ultimatum, 10-day ultimatum, ultimatum to Tuesday. We're going to blow up and send you back to the Stone Ages. Now we got to see what the next is going to be. If I'm not mistaken, they said they're going to meet on Friday. See? This is all in turn to pretty much have you the people not spend your money, okay, because of uncertainty. Just when the prices are getting ready to come down, they do something and now it goes back up. See? You can't really be in a sober mind not having confidence in your dollar, see? But this is where the truth comes into place. We're stable in this because whether we got the dollar or not, we have the understanding. See, we know that this place is coming to an end. All right? We're not holding our breath waiting on some deal or agreement to be worked out because we know what the will of the Heavenly Father is. Okay? And that's to destroy Babylon, the land of the Chaldeans, the United States of America, and all this wizardry and witchcraft, okay, that it's using, from its fake money to its fake media to its fake everything else. It's all based on whether or not it can control the people, the mass. And that spell that it had is slowly but surely wearing off. The people are seeing it for what it is, man. And soon, it's going to be riots on the streets. Lord willing, Abba Ratasa. Haven't said that in a while. Lord willing. Okay? Father, Abba Ratasa. Will. Father will. So it says, therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon, America, and his purposes, that he, Yahweh, have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Another name for, synonymous with America. It says, surely, without a doubt, surely you can book it. The least of the flock, those small hatters, those 1948ers that was established in 1948 through the Balfour Declaration. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. See? The state of Israel ain't going nowhere, man. Okay? They got too much dirt on Trump, man. They got him for the next 2 or 3 years. Okay? He can't go anywhere if he wanted to. They'll release those Epstein files. You know what we talking about. Epstein files. You get what we doing. In code. They got dirt on them. Okay? So guess what? Everything's back on, man. Okay? The Strait of Hormuz is closed now. The little $10, $20, $25 dip in oil, that was short-lived. It was enough to move the markets overnight, you see? And now guess what? They get ready to go to the next phase, man. All right? Prices are getting ready to go up even more now, okay? So this is going to have an impact around the whole global market, all right? And don't let that devil, Trump, that's being anything but upright with you, tell you that we got oil. Because you do got oil. You got millions of oil in reserve, but that ain't enough to keep anything going for a substantial amount of time. Okay? You're going to need to have that strait to be open so that the petrodollar can flow fluently. Okay? Because you ain't going to be able to sustain yourself. All right? Not on the petrodollar by itself. America is not going to sustain themselves. Because why? The people don't want to work no more, man. They tired of this shit. Okay? That's why they got the advent of AI. artificial intelligence and automation to replace your jobs, because they see people calling off. They don't want to work. They don't want America. The American dream is over. It's no longer a dream. It's a nightmare, man. People don't want to work. There's no more blue collar jobs. People wanting to get quick, fast, and easy social media, social content, and everything else, which is only stressing the grid. See? So the writing is on the wall, man. This place is finished, okay? This place is finished, all right? We already know the impact that oil plays on the energy, all right? So if this thing is closed once again, hey, it's only a matter of time, man, before it stays closed. And the impact shuts down everywhere else, including here in Babylon the Great, the land of the Chaldeans. So the least of the flock has drawn them out once again in less than 24 hours, just like that. So let's get Psalms 55 and verse 21. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55. And this is a beautiful thing, man. All right. This is why there's never a dull moment in the truth, man. Because we understand the Lord is working all around the clock all the time, man. He controls the hearts of the kings. Proverbs 21 and verse 1. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. It reads, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter." See? It says, "But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." So eventually, it's just going to have to get down to the nitty gritty, man. Eventually, it's going to have to get down to, hey, let's get the boots on the ground. Let's get it cracking, all right? But the missiles ain't going to come flying until they get this mark, this Caragua, this RFID microchip made mandatory first, okay? So they got to set the stage for chaos, man. So we still in that pocket where anything could go, okay? Your little relief at the gas pumps, that's only temporarily. All right? You got to remember, they're manipulating the stock market to help crash the dollar a lot faster. All right? Because why? It's pegged or tied to the oil, the petrol. So this is having an impact, and it's going to show up, in inflation. When the people ain't spending that much money, they're going to have stagflation, which is the worst, okay? So just sit tight, be patient, let the Lord do what he do, and you continue to flip them talents, man. As a lesson we did earlier, you gotta flip the talents that the Lord gave you, whether it's a ceasefire or not. Because you see how quick it changed, okay? And just think, if you put your talent up under the earth and the Lord came back, hey, what you gonna tell him? I know you was an austere man. I know you reap where you not sow. No, the Lord don't want to hear that. See how quick things can change just like that. That's why you got to be always on point. See that you walk circumspect. We just did a video about that earlier. 2 videos was covered with this right here. Flip your talents, because you don't know when the Lord is going to come, how quick he can come back, and see that you walk circumspect. All right? Because this is where we at with it. Where things could change like that at the drop of a dime, man. You thought you had your hopes up that the gas prices was going to go down, that, you would get a relief at the gas pump for 2 weeks. And now look, you might well say, when things settle, that it could be more than 120 a barrel of oil. It may be 150, 200. Oh, man. Brace for impact. That's all I can say. Brace for impact. So it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Never trust thy enemy. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. For as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 In verse 3, it says, for when they shall say, peace and safety, ceasefire. you better believe, hey, the least of the flock gonna do something, because they understand, they know they've been exposed. See, that man of perdition has been revealed. That's Esau, Edom. So the world knows who the true biblical Jews are and who the imposters are. It's out there. Whether they agree with it or not, they know that those aren't the real people of the Bible that's in the land. So now they got to make moves now. They can't go back to relaxing and acting like everything is gravy, like they can walk around with their little black hat on their head. No, the gig is up. Everybody know who they are. All right? And more important, they know who we are. Okay? So they getting ready to make a move on the man of the Lord. Hey, when all hell breaks loose, either you're going to be in that strong tower of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, or you're going to be out here on your own trying to figure things out. And that's going to be an unsafe place to be. So it says, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, what happens? Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See? So they ain't getting away, man. Okay? The Lord done got them already where he want to put them at on the chessboard, and he making moves that we can't even imagine or fathom. As it says in the book of Isaiah 55 and 11, your ways are not my ways. Okay? Let's look at that and then we'll finish up, close out. This is Isaiah 55 in verse, not 11, Salakia, verse 8. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. See? Hey, the Lord got, man, the Lord cold with it, man. See, you can't put him in a box, man. That's why it's best just to stick with the script that was laid out before us, this Bible. All right? You can't go wrong when you stick with the script. All right? Just be patient and wait on him. Okay? Because things could change just like that. All right? So now the strait is back to being shut down and closed. We're going to see how long that lasts for another correction in the market take place. All right? And more people feel like they don't know what they're going to do. So let's just sit back, let the Lord do what he do, put the moves on the chessboard and see how he's going to play. And we're going to give you play by play to the best of our ability, let you know what the updates and, you know, what you can look for and continue to expose this devil, man. All right? Because he at the end of his rulership. And you got to remember, the Lord set him up so that he could take him down. So that you know that let's read it. Daniel 4 and 17, okay? This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will. See? So he gave it to who? Esau, Edom for the time being. And setteth up over it the basis of men. They don't get no more basis than this damn devil, man. This Edomite. This so-called self-proclaimed white man. Only a true narcissistic would give himself the title of white to be what? The void of darkness, when he is darkness. Okay? See, he plays on words, man. That's why we call him the devil. All right? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed, because he called himself white. He's not white. He's just a derivative of red. All right? See, but he wants you to think that he's white, meaning that he's pure. But that couldn't be farther from the truth, man. This man is the wicked. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right? The Lord set this damn devil up, man. Because there's no more wicked individual than Esau, who for one birthright, for one morsel sold his birthright. Slakia, excuse me, got a tongue tied. But this damn devil, man, he's a fornicator. Esau Edom, man. All right? And he couldn't pick the more perfect villain for the job, man. All right? So the script is playing out right before our very own eyes. All right? We just got to stay locked and tuned in, man. Because a lot is happening, okay? So we going to see what the rest of April got in store. And, hey, we ain't going to get too far. Hey, let's just stay right here where we at. We're going to just see how this little, squabble or, skirmish is playing out. And then we're going to take it from there. All right? So let's finish up and close out the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. See? Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? Just that simple. He could have got however many people that thought everything was going back and even better in a matter or a span of 12 hours. A lot of people, especially you Americans, man, that think highly of yourselves, especially you MAGAs, Make America Great Again, who really think highly of yourself, and especially you Trump supporters who were holding out and was thinking that Trump was somehow getting back on track, and then this happens. You see how quick things change, all right? And you damn jakes that joining hand in hand with this damn society, guess what? You're going to get judged right alongside with them, all right? So 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8 says, be sober, be vigilant. Got to be those two things, sober and vigilant. Or else you're going to wind up walking right into a damn trap, a snare. It says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. See? So stay on point. Be circumspect. Continue to watch. Keep your head on the swivel. Things can change just like that. All right? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.